once more to Calvary, to that hill of sacrifice that changed the world for me. Mercies flow from that abandoned place, where the weak, the poor, the broken find eternal grace. Who am I that I this love receive? Who is he with mercies ever free? No remains of rope or cruel crown, even cross and nails have faded with the blood-stained ground. Earth and clay in death could not contain, author of the life eternal when you rose again. Elohim, Yeshua, Adonai. Mighty God, my Lord, my Jesus Christ. Lead me, Lord, once more to Calvary, to that hill of sacrifice that changed the world for me.
The first station. Jesus is condemned to die. We adore you, O Christ, and we bless you,
because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world.
Jesus stands in the most human of places. He has already experienced profound solidarity with so many on this earth. By being beaten and tortured, now he is wrongfully condemned to punishment by death. His commitment to entering our lives completely begins to its final step. He has said yes to God and placed his life in God's hands. We follow him in this final surrender and contemplate with reverence each place along the way as he is broken and given for us. As we view the scene, we become moved by both outrage and gratitude. We look at Jesus, his face, the crown of thorns, the blood, his clothes stuck to the wounds on his back. Pilate washes his hands of the whole affair, and Jesus' hands are tied behind his back.
This is for us, that we might be free, that we might have eternal life. As the journey begins, we ask to be with Jesus, to follow his journey. We express our love and thanks. The second station, Jesus carries his cross. We adore you, O Christ, and we bless you.
Because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world.
Jesus is made to carry the cross on which he will die. It represents the weight of all our crosses, what he must have felt as he first took it upon his shoulders. With each step, he enters more deeply into our human experience. He walks in the path of human misery and suffering and experiences its crushing weight. Contemplate the wood of the cross. Imagine how heavy it is. Reflect on all it means that Jesus is carrying it. Look into his eyes. It's all there.
This is for us. So place yourself with him in this journey, in his anguish, in his freedom and surrender, in the love that must fill his heart. With sorrow and gratitude, we continue the journey, moved by the power of his love. Let us be drawn to him and express our love in the words that come to us. We adore the third station. Jesus falls the first time. We adore you, O Christ, and we bless you.
Because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world.
The weight is unbearable. Jesus falls under it. How could he enter our lives completely without surrendering to the crushing weight of the life of so many on this earth? He lies on the ground and knows the experience of weakness beneath unfair burdens. He feels the powerless of wondering if he will ever be able to continue. He is pulled up and made to continue. Stare at the weakness in his eyes. Look at his whole body and see the exhaustion. Behold him there on the ground, being roughly pulled up, and know forever how profoundly he understands our fatigue and our defeats.
This is for us. In grief and gratitude, we want to let him remain there. As we watch him stand again and gain an inner strength, we accept his love and express our thanks. The fourth station, Jesus meets his mother. We adore you, O Christ, and we bless you.
Because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world.
Jesus' path takes him to a powerful source of his strength to continue. All his life, his mother has taught him the meaning of the words, "Behold, the handmaid of the Lord." Now they look into each other's eyes. How pierced through her heart must be. How pained he must be to see her tears. Now her grace-filled smile blesses his mission and stirs his heart to its depth. Love and trust in God bind them together. As we watch them in this place along the way, contemplate the mystery of love's power to give strength. She knows the sorrow in every mother's heart, and who has lost a child to tragedy or violence. Look at the two of them very carefully and long for such a love and such peace.
This is for us such incredible freedom, the availability of a servant. We seek to find the words to express what is in our hearts. The fifth station. Simon helps Jesus carry his cross. We adore you, O Christ, and we bless you.
Because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world.
Jesus even experiences our struggle to receive help. He is made to experience the poverty of not being able to carry his burden alone. He enters into the experience of all who must depend upon others to survive. He is deprived of the satisfaction of carrying this burden on his own. Look into his face and contemplate his struggle. He warns and fatigue, his impotence. See how he looks at Simon with almost humility and gratitude.
This is for us, so we feel anguish and gratitude. We express our thanks that he can continue his journey, that he has help, that he knows our inability to carry our burdens alone. Say what is in our hearts with deep feeling. The sixth station, Veronica wipes the face of Jesus. We adore you, O Christ, and we bless you.
Because by your holy cross you have redeemed us.
Jesus' journey is at times brutal. He has entered into the terrible experiences of rejection and injustice. He has been whipped and beaten. His face shows the signs of his solidarity with all who have ever suffered injustice and vile abusive treatment. He encounters a compassionate, loving disciple who wipes the vulgar spit and mocking blood from his face. On her veil, she discovers an image of his face, his gift to her, and for us to contemplate forever. What does the face of Jesus hold for us? What do we see as we look deeply into his face? Can we try to comfort the agony and pain? Can we embrace him with his face so covered with his passion?
The veil I behold is a true icon of his gift of himself. This is for me. In wonder and awe I behold his face now wiped clean, and see the depth of his suffering in solidarity with all flesh. The seventh station, Jesus falls the second time. We adore you, O Christ, and we bless you.
Because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world.
With help, Jesus stumbles and falls to the ground. In deep exhaustion, he stares at the earth beneath him. Remember, you are dust, and to dust you will return. He has seen death before. Now he can feel the profound weakness of disability and disease and aging itself, there on his knees, under the weight of his cross. Contemplate Jesus brought very low, and as we behold him there on the ground, with all the agony taking its toll on him, let your hearts go out to him.
We store up this image in our hearts, knowing that we will never feel alone in suffering or in any diminishment. With this image of Jesus on the ground before us, this is for us, so we express the feelings in our hearts. The eighth station, Jesus meets the women of Jerusalem. We adore you, O Christ, and we bless you.
Because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world.
The women of Jerusalem and their children come out to comfort and thank him. They have seen his compassion and welcomed his words of healing and freedom. He had broken all kinds of social and religious conventions to connect with them. Now they are here to support him. He feels their grief. He suffers knowing he can't remain to help them more in this life. He knows the mystery of facing separation and of death. Look at their faces. so full of love and gratitude, loss and fear. Contemplate what words might have passed between them. Remember all his tender, compassionate, merciful love for us. Place yourself with these women and children to support him.
This is for me. So we let this scene stir up deep gratitude within us. The ninth station, Jesus falls the third time. We adore you, O Christ, and we bless you.
Because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world.
This last fall is devastating. Jesus can barely proceed to the end. Summoning all this remaining strength, supported by his inner trust in God, Jesus collapses under the weight of the cross. His executioners look at him as a broken man, pathetic, yet paying a price he deserves. They up him up so he can make it up the hill of crucifixion. Pause to contemplate him there on the ground, the brokenness that makes us whole, the surrender that gives us life. Pause to experience and receive how completely he loves us. He is indeed completely poured out for us.
As we treasure this gifted experience, we express what's in our hearts. The 10th station, Jesus is stripped. We adore you, O Christ, and we bless you.
Because of your holy cross, you have redeemed the world.
Part of the indignity is to be crucified naked. Jesus is completely stripped of any pride. The wounds on his back are torn open. He experiences the ultimate vulnerability of his defenseless. No shield, no security protects him. As they stare at him, his eyes turn to heaven. Pause to watch the stripping. Contemplate all that is taken from him, and how he faces his death with such nakedness. Reflect upon how much of himself he has revealed to us, holding nothing back.
As we look at him in his humanity, we know that this is for us, and we share our feelings of gratitude. The 11th station, Jesus is nailed to the cross. We adore you, O Christ, and we bless you.
Because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world.
Huge nails are hammered through his hands and feet to fix him on the cross. He is bleeding much more seriously now. As the cross is lifted up, the weight of his life hangs on those nails. Every time he struggles to pull himself up to breathe, his ability to cling to life slips away. We make ourselves watch the nails be driven through his flesh, watch his face, contemplate the completeness of his entry into our lives. Can there be any pain or agony he would not understand?
This is for us, nailed to a cross to forever proclaim liberty to captives. What sorrow and gratitude fills our hearts. The 12th station. Jesus dies on the cross. We adore you, O Christ, and we bless you.
Because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world.
between two criminals, a mocking title above his head, with only Mary and John and Mary Magdalene to support him. Jesus surrenders his last breath. Into your hands I commend my spirit. We stand there at the foot of the cross, side by side with all humanity, and behold our salvation. Carefully watch and listen to all that is said, and then experience the one who gives life to pass from life to death for us. Console Mary, console John, and console Mary Magdalene. Let them console us.
This is the hour to express the deepest feeling within. The 13th station. Jesus is taken down from the cross. We adore you, O Christ, and we bless you.
Because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world.
What tender mourning! Jesus' lifeless body lays in his mother's arms. He has truly died, a profound sacrifice complete. Behold this scene at the foot of the cross. Contemplate touching, holding his body. Remember all his hands have touched, all who have been blessed by his warm embrace. Pause to let it sink in. He knows the mystery of death. He has fallen into God's hands.
For us, that we might love as we have been loved, pour out our hearts to the God of all mercies. The 14th station. Jesus is laid in the tomb. We adore you, O Christ, and we bless you.
Because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world.
They take the body of Jesus to its resting place. The huge stone over the tomb is the final sign of the permanence of death. In this final act of surrender, who would have imagined this tomb would soon be empty, or that Jesus would show himself alive to his disciples, or that they would recognize him in the breaking of bread? Oh, that our hearts might burn within us as we realize how he had to suffer and die so as to enter into his glory for us. Pause to contemplate this act of closure on his life. In solidarity with all humanity, his body is taken to its grave. Stand for a moment outside his tomb. This final journey of his life has shown the meaning of his gift of himself for us. This tomb represents every tomb we stand before in fear, in defeat, struggling to believe it could ever be empty.
In the fullness of faith in the risen one, given by his own Holy Spirit, we express our gratitude for this way of the cross. We ask Jesus, whose hands, feet, and side will bear the signs of this journey, to grant us the grace we need to take up our cross and to be a servant of his own mission.
Amen.
Amen.
Go to dark Gethsemane, ye that feel the tempter's power. Your Redeemer's conflict see, watch with him one bitter hour. Turn not from his griefs away. Learn of Jesus Christ to pray. Follow to the judgment hall. View the Lord of life arraigned. O the wormwood and the gall, O the pangs his soul sustained. Shun not suffering, shame, or loss. Learn of him to bear the cross. Calvary's mournful mountain climb, there adoring at his feet. Mark that miracle of time, God's own sacrifice complete. It is finished, hear him cry. Learn of Jesus Christ to die.